And listen, I was very, very surprised by this fight, though, man. Very surprised by it because my brother specifically was one I told you he's the biggest Bud Crawford fan.
Yeah.
And he's been a Bud Crawford fan from day one, has been telling me that everybody has been running from him, everybody's been ducking him, and he hasn't had a lot of these big fights because nobody wanted any parts of him, basically, though, right? And so what I thought was interesting is that when I saw that Canelo was getting so much more on the payout of the fight as the champion in the major draw, and the boy Crawford was like, "I'm just here. I'm glad for the opportunity. I don't necessarily. I'm good. It's gonna work itself out though, right?" And so when I saw all of that, I was like, wow, I was blown away because everything that man, listen, me and my brother can go back and forward about anything, right? We usually don't agree on a lot of things, and that's what's funny about me and his relationship and going back and forth. There's always something to banter about. But when he said, I thought, listen, I've seen Canelo manhandle everybody he's got in there with the exception of Floyd Mayweather. But when Canelo's last fight, he barely won it, right? Barely won his last fight. So my brother was like, nah, all the stuff that he said from the last fight, Bud ain't about that. Bud's faster. And I was like, yo, he's 37 years old, bro. He's 37. My brother's like, nah, you don't understand. He a different kind of 37-year-old, right?
Yeah.
And dog, when I
No, no,
saw
no. He's 38 because
30,
that was
sorry,
because one thing Sarah was like, he 38. I'm about to be 40, and he out here doing this.
yes, doing this thing though, bro. And listen, I listen. I have a thing about rooting for the old guy, bro. I'm
Yeah.
always down to see the old guy do his thing. But Canelo's no spring chicken, though, bro. But I just thought that I saw how Canelo had been whipping up on everybody else. And here's what I believe, though, man. It wouldn't surprise me if Canelo maybe has one more fight and he retires because I think, bro, that he's whipped everybody so much up until this point that I think that it's just, I'm not saying that it's gonna take anything away from Bud Crawford.
Yeah.
I think that it's taken so much more for him to muster up the energy to go into camps and to do this, that, and the other. And I think that he just will be a good steward of boxing and just helping it out because I don't think that maybe he thought that the way that he had been preparing was gonna be enough. But I know for sure that the way I saw him out there getting tagged, I was like, yo, I just thought that he was so much faster. I thought his defense was so much better. And while he took some punches, he did issue out some punches though, bro. And I just thought that seeing that Canelo was fighting at his natural his weight and that Bud had to put on weight, that that Canelo would be more comfortable though, bro. And I never saw that Canelo made the adjustments that I thought to really put him over the top at all. Like he instantly he was guessing all rounds though, bro. I was very impressed. I was very entertained by the fight though,
The
bro.
fight was
Very
very
entertained.
entertaining, and this is what I
Yeah,
thought: win or lose, either one of them, they put on a fight. Like
absolutely.
nobody, I don't think anybody can say anything bad about Canelo, and I don't think anybody could have said anything bad about Bud. I thought because here's the thing: whoever did the scheduling of the fight, as far as like which matches are going to go before the Canelo fight, Chef Kiss. They must have been a fan of WWE because you know how you have to have the heater, but then you got to cool the crowd down so that they not
Mhm.
so when the main event happened, they got energy. Because the fight before Canelo and them fight was kind of like all right, I can go to the bathroom, I can go grab me something to eat, I can do whatever. But the fight
Right.
before that, when them dudes was in the center of the ring where they end up tying each other because they was just going blow for blow for blow for blow, bro, that match was hard, bro. But yeah, the Canelo fight was epic. I thought it was dope. I love the respect that they had for one another. Um, but yeah, I'm a Bud fan, and I he was him in this match.
I I was thoroughly impressed though, bro. And I will tell you this though, man. The one thing that I think though, man, I do think that Canelo did everything that I think if he would have did this same effort against almost anybody else, I think he would have won because I think that this has traditionally been how he's won his fights though, bro. I was very surprised that I just didn't know that Bud would be able to take the punches, right? And that was the one thing that I appreciated and understood right off the cuff. Like, oh, okay, no, 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 he got a chin because Canelo's been laid out a couple of guys though, man. And so I just thought that that meant very thoroughly impressed. But I think that the one thing that I liked about the fight is nobody was running, bro. Like nobody was running. It was defensive, but it was defensive within. It wasn't all counter punches, and that's been one of the problems that I've seen with boxing. That makes me appreciate MMA even that much more. Is that when you go to MMA, you're incentivized to go out there and lay somebody out, right? And you play defense, that's fine, but you are incentivized to knock out. And I think that in boxing, you see a lot of people that don't want to just look bad by getting laid out. And I get that that sounds crazy. Nobody wants to look bad getting knocked out. But at the same time, I think that nobody wants to take the chances like that, though, man. And so I appreciated that there was no back down from either one. I just thought that Bud was on this night, Bud was better, though, bro. So I thoroughly loved the fight, though. Absolutely.
Listen, the meme punch of the night, bro, is epic. You know what I'm talking
Yeah.
about?
Yeah. The counter punch, when he hit him, he was like,
And he turned back around and looked at him like, "Did you just hit me?" Like it
yeah,
was
like I didn't know you
this.
had that in your
Yeah.
bag.
What was crazy is because somebody put it to the rush hour. Which one of you hit me? When Chris
Yeah.
Tucker, somebody put
Yes.
that, bro.
It,
I
it was so good, bro.
Yeah,
So good.
I who I was impressed with the most, I gotta say, I was impressed with Sarah because she was in it, bro. Like she was in it, like she was enjoying it. She like it was just watching her watch it through her eyes. It was crazy because she was just so invested. She was so invested. Yeah,
Listen, my wife was over there knocked out smooth. I listen, because I had to wake up, right? And she was just like, "No, I'm gone. I'm gone."
yeah.
I think she must have overheard that I was over there watching it on my phone. But then when I fell asleep on it, I was just like, "Dang." And then what I wanted to do is I didn't want to just catch it through social media updates, right? I was like, now let me go back and actually watch it though, man. So
Yeah.
yeah. It was dope, man. I probably one of the best fights that I've seen. Ooh, boxing at least 5 years, bro. At least five. It's been. I'm thinking like, yeah. I don't know. I wasn't that impressed by the Tank and Ryan Garcia fight, even though it had the most hype that I've seen in some time.
What about
There's just so many boxing.
Tank and Roach though?
Nah, nah. There just hasn't been. See, I think that that's the thing about it. In boxing, there's just so many fights that don't happen that it's just like, all right, well, no, this one goes down as like I'm not gonna say it. I would say it's probably a top five fight in the last 10 years, and it might be top three
Yeah.
to me, easy entertainment wise. So yeah.
41 million people tuned in to watch.
Listen, they were very smart on having it on Netflix, by the way. And I think that, and when you talk about ratings and views, I think that should not go dismissed. That you had it on a platform that was readily available. It's very much like you having the fight on national television on Fox, right? Where
Mhm.
something that everybody has access to it, though, man. And so I did think that way everybody could have their own fight party. That anybody you could. Yeah, I thought that was so smart, though, bro. So
Absolutely.
smart.
Yeah. 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 Well, I mean, that's
Love it,
gonna be
love it.
just like Jake Paul and Tank.
See, see, see. Now I was just telling you how impressed I was with the boxing, and then you bring up this, though.